Gundam.tk presents HG Zedas. Hey again everybody, it's Robert184, 2 R's 2 B's from YouTube and Gundam.tk, and as Gundam Age, the anime moves on, yes, we're getting more bad guys in the high-grade 1144th line. You've seen the unbox, the parts, and the mobile suit, and its flight mode of the Zedas. Also, you can see it here in its AG form, but now it's time to hear all the good and bad things so that you can make a call about this kit and whether it's right for you. To start things off with the negative, it seems like a scratchy turntable and a horrible pose barely propped up in its not very impressive flight mode is a suitable backdrop. Anyway, first of all, in terms of looks, his head is a little bit funny shaped, I have to say. It's like a bad shaped football. The Gafran, I was really impressed with its head, especially in high grade form, and this one seems to have gotten worse. And that may be an MS design problem. However, every once in a while a kit will make things look better, and this was a kit that certainly didn't do that. Combine that with the fact that you've got ugly elbows, whether it's in this mode or in its regular mode, and I'm not too happy with the way it looks from the front. One thing that I don't have a problem with, but other people might though, is that when you see these hands painted by the pros, yes, there should be black in a whole bunch of other places, especially down there at the bottom, and it's something that you're not going to get here. I'm pretty happy with the way they did that, but there may be people that are not. In terms of the overall body, you don't have things that are very good for the posability, and I'm talking about the chest. The way that it moves is it moves well for the transformation, but it's not going to move all that much for the mobile suit mode. The skirts, they don't move enough, and when they do move, they're not going to move equally, and they're not going to look great or symmetrical. They need more posability and better posability. The Gafran also has that problem where they have posability, and it's hard to get them to line up just right, but this one seems to do an even worse job. There's very little you can do with it, and anything that I did with it would end up with it popping out of the back or falling off those ball parts there. Now, the actual sword itself is a little bit strange, the way he holds it. It's interesting. It would be very cool to have a beam sword coming out of the palm of the hand kind of thing. I like the idea. I like the way it attaches onto the Vulcans, and the beam Vulcans look good, as we've already seen with the Gafran. But it's just awkward, and there aren't that many cool poses that you can pull off with something. And yes, a swordsman needs to be able to have a good pose with his sword to look good on your shelf. Now, the other big thing with the posing is just the legs are pretty horrible. The ankles aren't going to give you very much. The hips are going to give you hardly anything. When you start getting into Gundams like this, where you can move the hips in 50 different directions, literally, no, I'm just kidding there. But with this one, all you can do is move it a few millimeters off to the side, and the ankles are going to look awkward unless you prop it up with the tail, which isn't something that you should have to rely on for a kit like this, especially something that doesn't have such a great transformation that they have to, trade a lot of things in the MS mode. There's not a lot in this transformation, so you'd think the MS mode could look good on its own, but thanks to the bad posability, I think it doesn't. Which brings us to the biggest and the baddest problem with this. This is going to be the worst transformation I think I've ever seen on a Gundam. You literally just bend the lower body back and flop around with the knees a little bit. It's awkward, it doesn't work with the action base, the transformation doesn't work all that well. Things kicked off poorly when you just bend the arms, you don't make any attempt at all to hide the head. The wings are a little bit awkward getting them back there, they fell off on me a couple times. And yes, everything about this is poorly designed, where they should have given you multiple places where you can attach the action base. And whether you've got a Superman 1 or an action base 2, because with the action base 2, when you're plugging it in at a 90-degree angle at the back, the kit is more likely just to topple forward than actually stay on. So pretty much there's nothing very redeeming about this unless you like the pose that you're seeing here. The Gafran, the beast mode is at least unique. We've seen some Gundams transform into a beast mode before, but that offered something interesting, and this one seems to offer something that's comical, and that's about it. So how about the positives? Because it's not all negative, absolutely. First of all, I really like the design of that clear part that you can see in there a little bit. I painted it clear green and fluorescent green and fluorescent pink. If you want to put the stickers on there though, you're going to get some red and green, which looks really sharp. And the fact that they just have one piece provide you 2 different colors in 3 places. Well done, well designed, and it certainly brings out a color in an otherwise pretty dull looking suit. Which brings up another point in just the fact that this has more than 1 color on it. In fact, it's actually got 3, and if you add the stickers on, even more. But having this light gray, tan, whatever you want to call it, it's going to look really good compared to the gray or the blue of the overall mobile suit. You get to see lots of it in the chest and in the waist and in the head and the ankles, although that's hidden in the back. And for me, that's a huge step up on this block of monochromatic stuff back there in the AG form. The biggest winner though is going to be the yellow hands, because the Zedas, its hands stand out. The Gafran's weapons are built into its hand, and drawing your eye to it with another color is a really good idea. I wonder how they'd look in gold instead of yellow, but it's also great that they do give you the two sets. I was happy with them both with the Gafran, and I'm happy to have them both here for the Zedas. In terms of the wing skirts, despite the pose that I've got them in right now, they do actually look a little bit better, because the Gafran ones look very awkward and foot soldiery from back in the 15th century perhaps. This one is just a little bit more angular and a little bit better, despite the pose that I've got him in right now. And the whole idea of the sword tail idea, I think it's pretty unique and interesting. Can prop him up when he's in MS mode, and it does work as a weapon. It's certainly unique, even if it's not necessarily one of the best ideas Bandai's had. Disappointing though that the advanced grade can bend it up, whereas this one it has to be at the same angle that the hand's at. So you're not going to get too many sword-like poses, but hey, it's a good idea, and the color differentiation makes it stand out. One other thing that I really liked about this kit is just the whole idea of the way you apply the stickers under everything, is that they're giving you excess stickers. So whether it's these eyes there or the green part underneath, you're not going to see the sticker because it's actually cleverly hidden by the plastic parts that you slap all around it. And that is something that it makes stickers not look bad at all, and certainly much better than the paint job that I put on this guy. Final verdict, and keep in mind that this is an MS that I wanted to like and I wanted to buy because I was quite excited. It stole the show early on in Gundam Age, and then it was sort of overshadowed by the Gafran and the Backtoe making their appearances. But compared to the AG, just to have the multiple colors and the yellow hands, I thought would be really great about this kit. But having put it together, I have to say that I'm a little bit disappointed. It's just the posability is bad, the legs are bad. The looks aren't great. You're not going to get too many options in terms of cool looking poses, and the transformation being terrible is just a real disappointment. I have to say that the Gafran is a better model, and I think that the Backtoe just might be too, just from the little bit that I've seen of it. One knock about this is I'm filming this before episode 9 airs, where it's going to be making another appearance. And I think that to like a kit like this, you've got to know more about it. It had some good appearances, but the whole mysterious nature of the UE, if this was piloted by a likable character like Patrick or something like that, you'd have something to sink your teeth into, and that could get you past some of the flaws. But because it is so mysterious, without that anime linkage, I don't really think that there's enough to make me buy this kit at this moment, although a few more episodes in, who knows if I'll be changing my tune. But in terms of just a model, there's quite a few disappointing things, so unless the positives are more, it's a kit that you could give a pass to. But that's just my opinion, so don't ever let it stop you from buying a kit. Anyway, just as a heads up that there may be some potential problems, but why don't you let me know what you think of the verdict down below, and the mobile suit, the transformation, and everything else that you've seen about the anime and the mobile suit with a comment down below. It's always great for other people to see other viewpoints as well. Anyway, everybody, Robert184, Gundam.tk, great to have you here. More high-grade Age coming. It's been a fun line, despite the odd dud along the way, and I look forward to building more. Hopefully you'll be here to check those out too. Thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe if you don't want to miss any, and I'll see you next time. As the generations move on in age, I wonder if this ugly duck could turn into a swan. Well, at this rate, probably not. If we were in Beast Wars, I think your transformation would actually be a duck.